I was contracting so bad. Like, it was terrible. But I watched my nieces and send them to school. So they wake up at 7, and then from there they go to school. Well, they wake up. What's up, y'all? It's your Hyatt. If you're new to my channel, hi guys, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So, y'all, today I'm going to be telling y'all basically my labor and delivery story. It's really not that long. It's not like a long drawn out story. It's really short and sweet because my labor was short and sweet. But I'm basically going to tell you from 37 weeks on up. So I went to my 37-week appointment, but before that I was drinking raspberry leaf tea, bouncing on the ball, curb walking, all that. And I went to my 37-week appointment, and it was like they did everything, and then they checked my cervix. I was still closed. So then that's when they was like, oh, he's measuring small, and we're going to do you at 38 weeks, which was next Thursday, September 18th. And I was like, I was so scared, y'all. I was crying and everything. I'm like, oh my god, like all of it, all of above. And then, hold on, he's crying. Alright guys, so he was hungry. But anywho, so it was like that they was gonna do me September 18th at 8 p.m. So I'm like, okay, bet. So it's like a week late, like past. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, it's whatever, you know, I'm not gonna really do nothing, I'm just gonna wait it out. So September 18th came, guys. At 5:30 that morning, I was contracting so bad. Like, it was terrible. But I watched my nieces and send them to school. So they wake up at 7, and then from there they go to school. Well, they wake up, you know, get ready and stuff, and then they walk with their cousins to school. So I'm like, okay, you know, it is what it is. Guys, I waited from 5:30 to 6:30 in the morning, go like through them contractions, and it was so bad. Like, I was over there, I was squirming, but like I didn't wake up my baby dad because he just got off work at 2 o'clock and just went to sleep. So I was like, alright, it is what it is. So 6:30 came, and I was like, at this point, like, my stomach was on fire. So I woke him up. I'm like, babe, we gotta go to the hospital. Like, my stomach hurt so bad. I followed the 511 rule. I did everything, and it like won't ease up. So he like, okay. So I came. I got my mama and everything, and she was like, all right, you ready to go? So we got our bags packed. We put them in the car and everything, and we basically went to the hospital. We got the girls ready. We sent them to their cousin's house early so that way they can just go to school, you know, from there, because I'm contracting, I'm going to the hospital. So they went to their cousin's house and that stuff. After that, on the way to the hospital, my stomach, and now at this point my stomach is like burning. Like, it's like, it felt like I was being stabbed in my abdomen really bad. So yeah, I'm telling them your story. So I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like in the car, I'm like squirming, I'm fighting through it as much as I can. We get to the hospital and everything. I was 4 centimeters dilated. We got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was 4 centimeters dilated. And then they offered me something to eat. I threw that up. So then they was like, well, whenever I want to get the epidural, I can. So I'm like, okay. So I waited it out, like fighting through each and every contraction as much as possible, squirming, holding my mom's hand, holding my baby dad's hand, doing everything I can. But like, I could not move. I couldn't, like, I don't know how people like move through it. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like squeezing, I'm just praying at this point. And then after that, I asked for the epidural at 11:18. I was like, can I have the epidural? I think they, because you know they got sterilized and everything, so I think they did the epidural like around placement, or like around maybe 12. And 45 minutes after that, at 1, I got the epidural. After, like, alright, so for the epidural, to me, the numbing needle don't hurt. Like, she was like, it's gonna be a pinch in this thing, and that part didn't hurt. But when she did like the catheter, like the little plastic piece to feed the catheter through, hurted so bad. And like, I felt the catheter go down my back, and guys, it hurted so bad. So I'm like, ouch, and she's like, I'm done, see? So she had to stick me twice though, because the first time I was hunched, but like I wasn't as all the way, because I was going through, she did it through a contraction and it hurt it so bad. So like I kind of jumped a little bit, but you know, I'm not paralyzed, thank God. But after that, the epidural kicked in, and I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, every time I have a contraction, it feels like I gotta push. So my mom's like, you know, it's just your contractions. I'm like, no, I feel like I have to push. So she's like, okay. So she's like, let me get the doctor. So she said, my baby dad, go get the doctor. And the first doctor checked, she's like, oh, you're only 8 centimeters. So the other doctor checked, the like main doctor, she checked, guys, I was 10 centimeters, and she felt his head. I was like, oh. So she like, are you ready? But my water didn't pop. So she like, I could pop your water, or you could birth him in the sack. I'm like, you could, like, at this point I felt like I was high, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm like, just pop the bag. So she popped the bag, and when she popped it felt like a warm gush of water, like not gush, but it just felt like I peed myself, like a real warm piss. So after that, what happened after that? She popped my bag, then they got everything set up, got the little nursery thing set up for him to lay on, and, you know, things like that. So then the main doctor never came, and well, like during the beginning, so they called for her, but she wasn't there, and they was like, well, come on. So I pushed, and the first push, they was like, okay, his head is right there. The second push, his head and everything came out, but like during the first push, his head was out a little bit, like right crowning, and they was like, don't push, because the main doctor wasn't there. So she like, don't push, and like it made me tear down there, but it was okay. But it made me tear a little bit, well, a lot of it, but it made me tear. And then after that, he was born when the main doctor got there. And yeah, then after that, they placed him on my chest, and then I birthed the placenta, the placenta, and I had a 2nd-degree tear. So I got the stitches and everything, but I felt it a little bit, so they gave me like some medicine. And guys, that medicine had me high. Like I was like Lulu type high. Like I was texting, I didn't even know when I woke up, and like when I finally came back to it the next day, I was looking at the messages, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know I said this. But other than that, it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely do it all over again. It was quick, it was easy, and then, you know, the contractions hurt, of course, the epidural hurt it, but overall it was a 10 out of 10 experience, and I would definitely do it all over again. But yeah, so it really wasn't that bad. I'm glad I didn't have to get induced. I will say that I'm definitely glad I didn't have to get induced, because I thought I was going to get induced, but I didn't. On the grace of God, he was like, I'm coming, Mom. I don't care what y'all say, I'm coming right now. And he came, but I didn't have to push for long. He came in 2 pushes, like I said. So it was really quick, it was easy, and I'd do it again. But overall, my postpartum part is amazing. I'm a week postpartum. Postpartum. What I will say is, you do get baby blues, because I had baby blues, and it's not fun. But it don't last. Well, to me, it didn't last long. For me, it didn't. But I had baby blues for like the first day or 2 at home, and he's a week now, and I am so thankful for everything. What else? Yeah, that's really it. But he's not a crier or nothing. But without further ado, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Stay tuned with your girl Haya. Bye, y'all.